Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of Total War 3 Kingdoms. We're here with the Empress, Zheng. She is, of course, Empress of Korea right now, which we're trying to get the rest of. And, you know, we've got our holdings in the Black Mountains as well, and smattering up top. But let's just get to the fighting, because man, oh man, is there a lot of fighting. We can talk about the more macro level of stuff here in a bit. It says this is going to be a valiant defeat. I don't think so. That's not what I think is going to happen. We do have a nice little choke point thing here. Now they're going to reinforce from behind. That is okay. We're going to do quite a lot of damage here at the very start. We'll just run them up to the front, right? Yeah, they're trying to hide over here. That won't work. We've got the old... because they're quite far away, so we'll just reposition over here with our you know, our backs to the water. Shoot them up style here. Of course, we don't have any shot cav in this army. Well, not as such. We do have, you know, Qin peacekeepers, which are essentially that. No, they're not. They just have 500 charge. It's nothing. But we are going to just sit here and let the peacekeepers tank these shots, because of course we are. Why would we not? They can't really do much to us. There, and then on this front, the spears will get to get in. Over there. As well, actually here we'll need... because then the, yeah, very, very crucially, we're going to get them embroiled there and there. And now, as they come into here, we've got them in the kill box arc. Where's the Empress? Let's start taking some shots at old boy here, right? And these Lancer Militia are not going to be long for the world. They are very much in a bad way. Let's get one unit of spears over to this flank here, making sure Cao Ren is staying fine. And of course, the Qin Peacekeepers are so incredibly tanky. Here, we've got White Horse Raiders. We must have eaten that charge. We'll win this fight once the charge bonus is over. Probably, but we need to go ahead and get out here. Staying a little past our welcome. And the Empress challenges this guy to a duel. She's like, I've had it with everybody else having a good time. Time to pull the headhunters in there. And now with the G support coming in, we very much need to get out of this fight. At least it's just Yellow Cav that are on there with us. But here, this Mounted Saber Militia, they are going to get a nice flank charge into spears, but not that nice a one, right? Because we've got stuff of our own right here. And as their red cav comes across, the crossbows do their work. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. And of course, the headhunters beating the brakes off of them. And here, this front, totally fine, getting the charge in there. And here, Get a rear charge into the peasant raiders. Because our charge bonus is gigantic. Everything we have is good on the charge. And Cao Ren watches as his wife just totally wins this duel against Wu Ban, who at least you could say that he's definitely very brave. And we don't have forest penalties, which is super good for us. Of course, a horse will still run in to a tree. They just don't have the penalties that you would have for getting into it. Oh, okay. We need to get over here now. The wisdom of the river is upon us. That's not ideal, right? We're just going to charge here. And, you know, taking Liu Zhang against this cav was not ideal either, but we're going to keep moving. Oh my goodness, keep moving, my girl. Okay there, and of course here, following under Withering Arrow Fire is hardly too bad for the Watchmen of the Empire, although some of these other troops like it a little less. But we know repeating crossbows are hardly a thing to be afraid of. We just need to get a rear charge in here on these infantry. And there we go. Nice and clean. I mean, it isn't, but we get it done. But a nice victory there. You know, 6 Chin Peacekeepers is too many, because they just don't shoot very fast, right? They're great. If we had, like, another army with us all the time. Well, we will soon, though, right? Yeah. And Wu Ban we will employ as we respect his gumption in fighting against us. You know, he had heart, he had moxie. I'm gonna go far, kid. And here we're going to have a huge battle. I believe on the field, yeah. A huge battle. Now, what do we have here? Not a lot of cav. High-level guys with low-level weapons. And a backup army of not too much besides some yellow. Yeah, you know, we'll probably be fine. You know, we've got our army of a lot of crossbows, and we'll see if we can make it work. Of course, a bunch of purple infantry is a thing that generals are very good at dealing with. And, you know, we'll have 6 of those here too. You know, we've got a poison volley thing going on. Yuan Shu's green guys are very good for the line holding and stuff. So hopefully I saved it. Now he is going to come through back here, which means we're going to set up over here. And the White Horse Riders to stymie their approach. you have a bow? He does not. He'll stay over here then. Take some shots at Liu Zhang. And then we'll get this army moving up over here. Because she is shooting, like, these crazy angles, right? Are they hitting him? Maybe. But they've got their good marksman shooting back at us, and that means it's time to get out of the frame there. Because the bulk of their forces here trying to come across. Yeah, that's oh, because they have a whole lot on the field initially. Alright, what we want to do make sure she doesn't get got here. Alright, this was a bad plan. Just pretend it didn't happen and keep running, please. Alright, there we go. Crucially, of course, with our massive boost in power from our cavalry, we very, very casually win that fight against their reinforcing cav, which is hardly what you want to see. Is, you know, your cav archers just delete, or what your enemy's cav archers delete your shot cav, who's supposed to, you know, if you get on there, supposed to at least do something. But now they're all in motion. And this poison volley is elite. It is... Oh, it's such a good poison volley. It hits a whole lot of stuff. Wonderful. Time to back up. The thing here is not to get distracted, right? Keep everything... Keep it tight like a tiger. Because here the method of reinforcements is really going to hurt them a lot, as we'll have basically full time to set up, and then when they come to try to, you know, engage a little bit, it's not going to be what they dreamed. These armies are so flimsy, though, that we're building. I would like, you know, that's the thing about power. But we very nicely roll these guys up, and of course, no little strategist is gonna like running into 700 charge bonus White Horse Raiders. I don't even know what's going on in our faction anymore. We're pretty strong, guys. We're pretty strong. 845 charge bonus Zhongnu cataphracts. Yeah, we got it going on, all right. When I say we're flimsy, what I mean is we're failing to charge enough. You want a duel, old man? Yeah, I accept. No, not you. Ma Yunlu. They both have tenacity, but that should be... And we're gonna try to throw a poison volley up the gut here. Just pull back the white horse there. Liu Zhang, you want to go? Yeah. Yuan Shao's got to prove himself, right? After all, we do give him his favorite eunuch back. But here they blunder. They're trying to get a charge. Oh, they are getting a rear charge onto the crossbows there. So not really a blunder, as we have left them unsupported. What we want to do here is get the headhunters on this fool. Cataphractoi in. Charge here. And ideally, now that he's a little tied up, we'll get a poison volley, like, right here that's going to go and hit everything. That's the dream. Let's see how close to the dream we're gonna get. And of course, he is better at, like, evading and stuff, but she does a ton more damage than him. So, getting it done there. Hopefully, Yuan Shao won't, like, get him an Oathsworn kick or something. But, here we go. But we are just obliterating them because, of course, with our dramatic charge bonus, 346 charge bonus, we need to just make infantry armies and run at the foe, right? With a charge bonus like that, 200 charge bonus on your archers, like, pretty soon you're talking real money. Man, oh man, what a triumph we are putting together. And of course, here our crossbow concave doing its work. Man, we're really struggling in these duels, huh? Oh no! Well, Ma Yunlu might lose now. We don't have any way to help her, right? Yeah, we don't have like any show the flag type stuff. Headhunters to here. Because she hits so hard, but is she connecting? No. And Guosi, you know, gets pretty tinned up there, but, you know, it'll be alright. As long as... Yeah, because if we get these... Yeah, you know, Yuan Shao doing very well for himself. The headhunters getting onto their target. Even this strategist just rocking out. Ma Yunlu probably gonna die here, you know. We could run away from the duel. Yeah, you know, sad, but we don't want this guy to just, like, totally kill us. He, you know, that Fallen Oathsworn really messed us up. She will live to fight another day. It's alright, you know, she fought bravely. She might have won. She might well have won. But on this front, yeah, we just need to get re-engaged here. There's way too many crossbows. So I honestly think just like a bunch of hidden axes or Fist of the Bandit Queen, you know, because with our immense charge bonus, we could just lean into that, you know, that's the faction identity, right? The fact that we can have these good crossbows is great, but, you know, with this many of them, especially with a reinforcing army, you know, a bunch more infantry might work a treat. But, I mean, eventually, you know, it'll be a Protectors of Heaven show, I imagine. Well, you know, the Vanguard Spearmen tried to fight, and they did fight for a little while. Man, Yan Yan, what a... Oh, I guess he does have 70 armor, and I didn't even really look at that. But yeah, 70 armor is a huge number for a Sentinel. But there we go, that's all she wrote for these fools. And a glorious victory indeed. But I guess it's just a matter of being in the right place. So, okay, yeah, those were... We had Bandit Warriors, which are, you know, tier 0. And they still got 100 kills. Clearly we can get it done. This guy's an upstanding moralist. I think we'll just release him. You know, sad that she lost the duel, but hey, she gets to level 5 and now we get to a charge negate there. Very nice. Yeah, both of these armies are pretty flimsy, but I guess we can swap these guys to like fist. Well, I mean, but that guy's the we want him to have crossbows. We can just put more hidden axes on his grouping. Alright, let's save it real quick, because that was a bunch of fighting. Alright, now that's dealt with, and accordingly... Alright. We've raised the armies over here. I kind of want to give Zheng the Bloodfest. I feel like that'd be fun. Because, I mean, I just love Yellow Turban characters. Maybe we'll do a Turban run after this. But maybe just, you know, getting the Yellow Turban character. Because we already had one, and then we barely leaned into him. I mean, that's not fair. We used him a lot. We used him a lot. He was in, like, our second or third army. You know, he's down here somewhere. Yes. And which ones? I mean, and speaking of, what we want to do now is... make our way to sea. We got plenty of supplies, of course. We don't even... You know, maybe the sea here doesn't have negative effects on supplies, and that's a bonus that you get over on this side of the map once you're here. But anyway, we got this, and we're just... Alright, so that one's there, and over on this front, those will be building their siege weapons as well. Do we have... deployments? No, just one. Well, we might as well use it, right? It's like some of these people are like definitely spies, but not like all of them. Evening, Ellie. Hope your afternoon went well. I took a nap. It was wonderful. It was everything I hoped it could be.
力求上进，功名震天。土地无人，好比人之无魂。
We'll hold off on giving him anything too cool for right now, but here's a great axe. Ah, grows up with a bow, very cool. But we are limited by seasonal deployment, so there's an army limit, right? And then there's a limit on how many armies you can deploy per turn season in the parlance of the game. And ours is like 4. Now on the Han, right, they're going to be able to have access to a much bigger number than all that. But here, we just want to boost replan real quick, right? Well, I mean, actually, probably just the undercover thing is totally fine. Hit there.
我绝不动摇。
And they're not going to be able to get here. We might as well make a good old garrison building, right? Move that one over. This one doesn't really need to be here. And of course, the traditional tribute hall. Gotta get those dollars up. Now we're gonna be... The Duchy of Jiang is down to 30k. They probably don't have anything left. These multipliers are crazy. It's forcing you to create, indeed. And it represents that the bandits, you know, like, even if you have all of the money, right, and the means to support these armies, you are still fundamentally, like, a bandit faction. So, like, where are you getting the physical people that are willing to fight for all of this money, right? And you know, the legitimacy of your faction is sort of, like, reflected in that. Because, you know, while the Emperor of Wei here, Cao, wherever he is on the map, can probably spin up 15 seasonal deployments, right? And the Han get access to technologies to get a lot more of them. We probably just get a few, but the whole, you know, it's a very different experience, and I really like it. The kingdom of, well, the Dai Dominion here is doing well, and now it is time to get to the next turn. But yeah, because otherwise, right, if we had 15 deployments, once we finished with Korea here, you know, we could just drop all the armies, redeploy them on the other side of the world, which would be very cool, but, you know, fundamentally would be a very different style. And you could totally do that, you know, depending on what faction you're playing. And we could do it with one army, you know, a turn. But when we became Empress, we got access to, because we had like a army limit of, 12 or 13. And then when we became Emperor, we got 10 more armies access. So an awesome amount, because we're so rich. So really, we're just going to rock out here, and I think my connector in my keyboard might be dying after all this time. Very sad. And we're just going to keep on taking the network this way, because there's elephants like right over here, right? And with access to stock, so Cao Ren has stock for his whole retinue, so we could have Zheng with her husband, with her, you know, he could just have a bunch of invisible elephants. And that would be, frankly, pretty fun. There's other ways to use invisible elephants. How do I know where the elephants are? Yes, I do have special elephant senses. So, the elephants on parade are from over here in the Nanmen lands, represented by this lush jungle. So the Nanmen are like these tribal peoples here, and they're the faction that has elephants. They have elephant units that they can recruit up in their trees, and they also have a couple of characters to start with one. There's one character in the broader Han thing that starts with an elephant at the start. That's Lady Triu. That's the one that I freaked out about when I saw her in the pool right here, because she has special elephant, best elephant in the game. There are two, they look different, but they're the same, and they're both the best. And so that's why I was so pumped about that. You can get like a regular elephant, but that's not too much. But in the Bandit network, our technology tree here in the shape of China, each thing we research gets its prestige, which doesn't matter anymore, and then like maybe, you know, something on a macro level. This one gives us, you know, melee evasion for infantry. But as we go down here into the Nanmen lands, just like going up here gave us access to the northern tribes and their horsemen, going down here gives us access to the southern tribes and their elephants and their warriors of tiger. That's right. They carry tigers around, and then they release the hounds at the enemy. That is... The Tiger Warriors are not, like, cost-effective. We're totally going to use them in this playthrough, because of course we are. But yeah, and that, you know, we're going in this direction for money and stuff, but also we're going to be able to get a few elephants. Now, they are limited in the amount that we get. You get here, you can have 2 elephants. You get here, you can have 3 more elephants. But some of them... They have like a drum on their back, so they have like an aura on top. And the elephant unit, it's not like a single elephant like for your hero. It's like 6 or 12. But anyway, they, you know, you can really do some work with them. And we've got, you know, a bunch of fun things in that vein. But let's just continue on here. Now, no point in doing this one. They are going to be taken out by our invisible hand. And he's like the leader of this faction. We're going to release him on the grounds that we might be able to get him at the end of all of this. The thing is that these guys are invisible on the battlefield, which is, like, undesirable. You know, it doesn't look as cool, right? What we can do here is... I mean, we don't really need more infamy at this point, so we'll just stop sacking the cities, you know. Tong says, hey, like, we don't have to keep on burning it. It'll be alright. And here we have pretty nice, you know... Oh, somehow it's like a bandit building at that level. That's fun. But here... Use there. But yeah, so you can look at your bandit network and see, you know, what special units there are. And you can look on like a different menu and be like, what level do I get access to them? Because right now we there's a couple like imperial units, the protectors of heaven, the defenders of earth. They're like a really good glaive infantry and a really good sort of like small unit archery thing where they've got like explosive arrows but a shorter range. But they, can we get here in time? No. Can we move here and then go there in time? Also no. That's okay. But the wonderful thing about what we're doing here, right, is we are wrapping up this conquest of Korea. They are just about done, right? And when that does happen, I would love to form empire with you, buddy, but it looks like you're too proud. Oh, and to get on this island, oh my goodness. You gotta go all the way around here. You can't... Yeah, you can make landfall here maybe, but yeah, incredibly annoying to get to this place. I love it. That's my idea of a bandit paradise, right? Start position there, win. A tax building? No, destroy the hated tax building. Down with taxes. That's what Zheng says. Tribute, yes. Taxes, no. Of course, sources of our tribute are going to fall soon enough. But so once we sort out Korea, and this is what's beautiful about the timing, right? Is Cao Cao and his mini armies, they're all dealing with Wu down here, right? They're having their war, and Chu's doing their thing over here. He's trying to stay unaffiliated. No, he's in an alliance with some other people, but you know, he's not affiliated with the big guys. He's trading with Wei. But once we do this, you cannot, the technology is not here. You cannot sail across here. They can't do that. They'd all get sunk, you know, it doesn't work. The game won't let you. So once we get all of Korea sorted, all of these armies get to flood up to the north here, and then we'll have, you know, all of these awesome armies with nowhere to go but this way. Gongsun-du is paying us tribute. He may not want to do it forever. He doesn't want to do it now, if we're being honest about it. We did ask his opinion about it, but not in, like, a way that mattered to him. Zhang Yan is willing to pay us tribute again, but I think we're just going to eliminate his faction instead. Hu Mao, now this is just what we need. He doesn't want us to beat him up, and I don't need to beat him up. Just pay me, buddy. Just pay me. Okay, comics has begged him to call him like a strong father. Maybe others for 2 years are like, yep, you know, and then you get an event where it's like, oh, it all goes away. And how much is Hu Mao, the Vengeful Rebel, paying me? 30 grand, yeah, baby. And that's the point, right? Because when we roll down here, well, you're going to pay me. And we're going to be able to come in this way and see what's going on in the Nonman lands. And also swing in this direction, make Chu pay us. And yeah, you know, it's going to be great. We've got our armies in the passes here. Teng going to roll up here to defend Shihe as he was wont to do in the past. Oh, and Zhang Yan now. Alright, so what we can do here... Can we abandon a place? No. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna lose this one to him. That's a little annoying. We could make him pay us. Yeah, he doesn't want peace, but he'll pay us tribute. I mean, there's no reason not to soak him a little bit more, right? Just because he betrayed us in the past, you know. Look, Cheng's not going to take it personally. Look, he thought we weren't around anymore, and he thought he didn't have to pay me. He does. He does have to pay me. You know, it's not like his infidelity to his promise to pay us tribute forever is hurtful. It's just foolish. They'll make us come down here again. Envelope better never be light again, Zhongyon. Not one more time. This guy's in March, so we're going to be able to catch him here and mark him on the auto. Yeah, 2 more is fine, probably. And it's a little squishy of an army, but so too is this one. Since we're up here, though, we can go ahead and swap to hidden axes all here, which I do like. You know, we could just go to the assault infantry, but now let's. I think this is better, yeah. Because with our. It's a gigantic charge bonus, and we get 100 more when we're on the attack, which probably hits the multipliers too. Because when we were in the fight, these already... So 500 charge bonus is cartoonish high. It's unnecessary to be that good at anything, but we're doing it. He'll run away on that front, no doubt. We need to raise an army here. Disgraced noble? Yeah, you come right up. And this guy's a spy, so we don't want to put him into an army yet.
法令必行。
So she, I think, you know, if you have super high satisfaction, and we do, they can eventually be induced to join up with your side. But I feel like here, you know, why not just get in this Korean fella?
尽忠有诈。
And so we go ahead and get our couple units of spears out of him, and she can take care of the archers there. We'll be able to get one unit of Zhanbei headhunters here. Shanyue bandits, not too much of a much. These archers are... you know, pretty decent, actually, right? Yeah, why not keep them? They, yeah, decent armor, evasion. Yeah, they've got, find them an animal. Yeah, you know, keep a little bit of that classic culture. Oh, he's from Jugashu, and he's not even originally... I don't even know where I thought he was from. Anyway, here's a robe of the Oven Maker, buddy. An Imperial Bow to pump up the army. Pump up the army, pump it up, pump it up. This guy is tough and hefty. You know, going double commander is certainly a choice. We're just gonna buff her up, get her all the things she needs to be happy. And these bandits will, of course, be pleased. So that'll make him, yeah, so we've got a culture there, and he'll be able to get a whole bunch of trebuchets ere too long. Now, speaking of, alright, so archer there, a couple furies there, and then we do what? We... yeah, a couple Fists of the Bandit Queen. Why not? No reason why not. And we'll drop this White Horse Raider in his army for another spear, question mark? No, I kinda think, yeah, another hidden axe, why not? In which case, we should put it here for symmetry. It is so important, I hope I don't have to explain why, that if you have a few units of the same kind in a retinue, they should be standing next to each other in the retinue. And I mean, I really hope I don't have to explain why.
血脉赋予我权力。
And this guy can get a tribal recurve bow, allowing him to be a fancier kind of guy. And this army will be here in no time, and of course with, you know, and this is not like a great garrison, but our towers are poison towers, and I haven't seen that work yet, but I bet it's amazing. And, yeah, so everything is going apace as we get to spin up an army every turn, and we're still plus 136k, because I am always worried, you know, like, what if I don't have enough money someday? And you might be thinking, is that likely? It could happen. I could not have enough money someday, and wouldn't that be a sad thing? But this guy is sort of wandering around. Let's get on that. And everyone defending the gate passes can continue defending the gate passes. I don't want to say I kind of want to bushwhack Cao Cao. What would that make me? He's our in-law? Right, we couldn't do that. But I do know that all of his armies are down here. And he just has 2 armies up there. And I mean, look at all... I mean, but he's our in-law. We couldn't. But I do want to. But fortunately, that new pickup will cover the loss of Yuan Shu that is imminent.
诸暨王侯，全军出击！永不为奴。
当断则断。
Alright, and we will hit a bandit patrol here. And a mustard. Hey, Luke. Yes, an elephant never gets that it gives cool buffs. Indeed not. And, you know, an invisible elephant on parade, because, of course, I was thinking, you know, Cao Ren, that would be a cool pull for him. But also, I mean, all the sentinels would be very good at it, too. And here we've got, you know, unfortunately, because the Elite Axe Warriors are what they are, we should have deleted the rest of the retinue and allowed them to go over there. That's going to plague me for all of my days. It'll be alright. If we go here, well, there's no real point in getting them there. I feel like we just move this way.
向前进军。
Yeah, it seems fine. And then we do all of that. And now that we've made that guy upset, we can use him. No. If only this list sorted them right. I feel like there's no real point in that. Let's just go ahead. Interference it and get him out of there. Not really too much we could do there, right? And here we can keep on making everybody here miserable. Probably could have done an interference first, but yeah, look, now they're all very sad. Is this what you meant, Luke? Is this like the thing that you're supposed to do? From all the buildings? Yes, yes. We get 71 undercover network per turn and 51 cover per turn, which is from all of the black market buildings, which we buy. We have them principally not to get the things, but the real point, of course, is that it gives 5% research rate, which is my obsession. I mean, with research, one can have any number of spies. But I think actually here, House of Liu, we're about to get 2 more. Ideally, you get cool characters there out of it. Or just make everybody unhappy.
以至极。
That's right. Yeah, you work for Wu, so.
有话快说，交谈如此令人不悦，还是快快了结。
一统山河。
But we're at a mere 85% corruption now. I think we just got something that lowered it more. I was like, I thought it would be like 100. That's only, like, the one building does give you even more corruption. But hey, what are you going to do? Not build it? No way. 3.3, minus 89%. Clean. And then the building upkeep. Series videos don't want to conquer shoe. Oh, I mean, just because I perpetually want to shake people down. You know, tribute is better than destruction because if they ever turn on me, then we can destroy them later with all the money we've got. Because, you know, because all of our tributaries are eventually going to dry up. Song Jian, you've declared war on us. Oh, we forgot to move these armies over here. That'll be alright. Think he's mad because of the spying or something else?
吾等不能再对你坐视不管。
Zhang Chao doesn't want to pay us anymore. Yeah, resist. Yeah, because they're like a vassal, I think, too. So, you know. But maybe it's just the Empire thing. But yeah, we can't even make them pay tribute, so, you know. Joyous occasion, a daughter is born to Zheng, the Lady of the Elephant. She is a tribal exile, a very, very good kind of person. Gives range damage to the own retinue, of course, and starts out with Poison Volley. A clumsy, disloyal, and superstitious baby. I mean, I have often, very often met disloyal babies. They will one day smile at you, and then the very next moment, shriek clumsily and superstitiously at you. So, I mean, a very normal baby, but a happy addition to our forces nonetheless. Defection imminent? Well. Let's get him on out of there. And here we are turning the children of the family against him. In here, for all of these cataphracts are very cool. I mean, honestly, getting... Huh. Yuan Shao doesn't get access to the trebuchet there. Fascinating. Okay, I guess commanders don't get it here. In the bandit world. Let's check it in the listing, right? Well, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't show it in the listing at all. Anyway, there you go. Well, strategists for the trebuchets for the bandits. And it's very clear that Cao Cao is interested in this whole Korean venture of ours. He's like, wait, they just disappeared into the forest there? And then what happened? Like, oh, she declared herself emperor, and many of her forces are invisible. He's like, invisible? Explain. He's like, well, sir, you know how you can't see an elephant sometimes? He's like, go on. Probably know the Korean strategy is the exception, not the rule. Fair enough. Maybe none of our strategists can get trebuchets? Well, we'll see before too long when we get to level 6-1. That's our only level 6 guy anyway. Well, if he is the only one that can get them, he must be protected. What we want to do here is just move on in and get some burninating on. But yeah, so when we attack too, so the layering of charge bonuses, Luke, is that this plus 100 to charge bonus, I'm almost certain, is applied additively before the multipliers happen. So, like, flying in the face of decency, because when we did a fight earlier, our White Horse Raiders had something like 700 or 800 charge bonus. And right now, of course, they're only listed at a mere 499. So, which is barely any, right? I mean, like, they're just gonna go out of the house with a charge bonus like that. The Zhang Cataphracts in the fight had something like 800. Now we have to, yeah, I mean, it's important. On this front, do we have another army to spin up? Yes. Alright, Yin Li, that's the spy we just extracted, and Wu Ban is the same sort of thing. You know, let's get these guys that we... the previous spy bros, and then... recruit them where? Here? We don't have visibility on this at all. Let's get some... Okay, and so we, as you get higher levels, the chances go down pretty significantly. And now the scout province from this guy, he'll never get caught. So so that'll be good. Thinking what happened last time we talked to things about. It wasn't that I didn't want to talk about it. I was just in a whole different game. No, I actually was thinking more about him today and reading more about his stuff. And sort of marveling, right, you know, at the... I talked earlier, or yesterday, about how, like, it's interesting how, like, personal dislikes can be so important in, you know, in rules-based systems when they fall apart. But, like, Pengji, who, you know, is the one whose dislike leads Yuan Shao, you know, like, as the story goes, to do it. Basically all we know about, like, you know, he is not, like, a famous dude, really, you know, for his other stuff, you know, it's like, his biggest claim to fame was that he did this to this guy who was smart. Yeah, and, like, you just go through, it's like, yeah, you need to make a long-term strategy against Cao Cao, and Yuan Shao's like, you know, but the, I really did like, actually, the sequence where he's trying to get Yuan Shao to move, but I think it's Yuan Shang that's ill. One of the sons is ill, and he doesn't want to, you know, and he as the story goes, you know, hits a staff on the ground, you know, and it's like, you know, we're gonna waste this because your kid's sick. But I like how that story, you know, it serves to illustrate too that Yuan Shao, you know, it is unsuitable, for lack of a better word, you know, to be ruling everything. Because it's good to care about your son, but, you know, it's like he didn't care about China more in that moment type of thing, you know? Like, if you're gonna take the mantle of the coalition and be trying to, you know, restore stuff, you have to be willing to be, you know, more self-sacrificing than all that. And it's like, by presenting him as a decent guy who wants to do good things, you know, it demonstrates that he's unfit for the Dragon Throne. And I get Yuan Shang in the romance, but it may be younger with something in history. Okay. But, oh, he's a... Ooh! This man is a Qiang Marauder, so he'll have people of the horse. Oh, he's old. Very old. But he's got targeted strikes, people of the horse, for, you know, invincible, you know, every minute. And, but, you know, 25% charge bonus for cavalry. But he's going to come back, and we'll get him into a force. You know, skewed priorities. Indeed. And it's, you know, I always like when you have a story that shows something good about a person that is also a negative thing about them, you know? The character... Ooh, what do we got here? Okay, so this is like... I'm sure I looked at this a long time ago and then just forgot about it. So, at level 8, we'll get 2 points, right? So, we want to go here first, because at 6... If we go here, then on 7, we just get endurance anyway. We still end up at mending on 8. Oh, this is an AoE effect range. Oh! Well, that's going to be fun. Of course, reducing our melee evasion isn't fun, but powering up is fun. And we could totally give him the Bloodfest. But, you know, we just need to figure out who's going to get the Bloodfest. A very metal thing. Oh my goodness, please move out of the way. How do we... What? Can we not approach it from that direction? It's fine. You know, whatever. Similarly, wait a minute. Charge the infantry and double attack and mega charge. Oh, yeah. You just run all over them. That does sound good. And there is the defeat of Biolhu. He fought bravely. more of that, and then another forge, of course. For more bows. Everybody's happy. La Vita Bella.
团结一心。
Our level 8 cities of Korea. Level 8's the sweet spot, right? Because you get to get that extra slot, which is so good because you want, you know, some food to support your ridiculousness. You want the forges everywhere. You want your research rate. You want your, beautiful, beautiful stuff. 190k from Diplo, you know. And the thing is that's the game wants you to do this, or it wouldn't stack so high. Yes, Korea is united. Yeah, you know, we're just doing our thing, right? Cao Cao is our in-law, and we have ever gotten along with him. Even though we totally, like, failed that one contract. We're trying our best, okay? It's hard. I seriously doubt they will try to come out with these crummy little militia armies. I mean, they got sword guards, right? They'll match up well with 159 charge. They'll match up well against White Horse Raiders. Because of course we got bandit warriors showing up there, but when we're defending, we don't get the bonus, of course. But we'll just move in here.
这就是轻视我等的代价。
Well, you know, we left towards the Tibetan plateau and.
遇事三思，其志可现。
Alright. Our strategists can definitely get trebuchets, and speaking of, it's time to add a couple trebuchets to this army. Maybe just one. Zhu Shou is Yuan Shao's other strategist. Yeah, you know, it's, I like that joke you told earlier about how his court would be better if it didn't exist. You know, it's funny how... Funny how that works out sometimes. And... Zheng Mao, well, with a name like that, you might as well show up here, buddy. What's your story, Morning Glory? Where are you from? Ah, you were born into Huajin. Brilliant, cautious, and wise. Well, good. You're somebody's kid. But, he's a meticulous minister. Show you know, yeah. Yep, we know him. But, you know, the old, these are decent enough traits. And, you know, he's got the proper name for it. It's Shinpei's fault that defects. Yes, we will interfere there. And then, of course, next turn, we'll get 30 points there and 80 of the network. Jeez, yeah, we hardly need to do that then. We'll have 2 more spies next time. Might as well get the flaming shot there. Remembered by history favorably for a valiant defense of you, but she refused to play what's out of loyalty. You know, it's one little thing can change people's perception, right? But I wanted to circle back to the thing about Peng Ji, because I talked about it, you know, like the personality differences of being petty, but I guess like I am being unfair because there's nothing less petty than your position in like the upper echelon of an aristocratic venture, right? Like that determines your status, your access to wealth, the positions that you can get to your family and friends. Like it's hardly irrelevant if you don't like somebody and they're in the same organization as you. They can very actively work against you, and it's a matter of, you know, occasionally life and death, but I mean certainly a matter of, you know, prestige and all the other things that go with, you know, playing at being a lord of men. We were gonna get the spies where? I mean, we can get them here, right? Yeah, because we're just gonna be up about to brawl. Might as well get them showing up. And the spies can go. The creeping shadow, not the creepy shadow. He's a nice guy. But here we've got enough, you know. Sure, he's red, but you know the watchman and the axes fall to you, buddy. $400 charge bonus bandit raiders, pretty good. Female confidence is a buffing game, but a huge problem. Right? Yeah. they make it seem like a good thing that the Yuan clan is huge and doesn't get along. She totally doesn't need that, but we just don't... Well, you know, that's not true. Huasai is tough and hefty. Speaking of, though, let's just get him in this. Raiment, most dignified. Oh, the Zhanbei Warhorse. We need to get that to somebody reputable. Yeah, the Bandit Queen isn't even riding on anything fancy. Well, it gives fatigue resistance, you know. Let's give him the Zhanbei Warhorse, and she can ride the gold one. Well, next turn. We got one more seasonal. Let's raise it here, right?
悉听尊便。
Sure, he's invisible, but that doesn't mean that he can't have a good time. And Ma Chao is right here, but he is spinning up with terrible replan, you know, and this honestly might be just what we needed in order to deal with them. We got our elite axe guys there, and then we'll just get... some marauders to stand against his marauders, and then because you know we'll have the better charge bonus at 709. Hey, Paul Maxim, 709 charge penalty we haven't bestowed. Indeed, you know, like, what can men do against such reckless charging? But there's still room to improve it, right? I'm sure there's at least some shock damage on the map here that we haven't gotten. There may not be. There's a lot of research left around here, and I haven't looked at all of it. I want to be surprised. Alright, so everything's fine up there. Armies, 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 and everybody on this front, as soon as they heal, can begin the long walk up. Puchichuan will be able to roll him in there, and that looks like we're looking good. Because I kind of forgot we had access to Jiang Marauders now. And they are, of course, incredibly excellent Red Cav. And with our faction buffs, and that 700, that is before our plus 100 when attacking, which they'll probably be at something like 800 or 900. No, not 800, because that's only plus 100. They'll probably be at like 950, because we have some charge multipliers, and they go into the stack after the additive thing is done, because we had 700 charged White Horse Fellows in a fight earlier. The House of Liu is now with us. We have constructed our things. That was the name of the research, of course. The House of Liu. And now that they're in the faction, they're gonna be like, I want to discredit the faction now. You know, they definitely... Finally! You know, after 600 hours, I'm like, what if we actually used more than one spy ability? I'm gonna draw the line at 2, though. And now we'll be able to go there, and of course she's our spy, so... Undercover network gain per turn 160. What?
报仇雪恨，心怀怨怒，锐不可当。
I know, right? We got a lot of minor settlements, and in each one of those, you can build a secondary thing that gets us some gain per turn. But yeah, you know, I think maybe she gets like a little extra too on her own. I don't know, but anyway, we are rocking out. That's what it's like to own Korea, right? We've got it chock full of level 8 cities, and yes, it's this little building here, the preparatory camp. Gives you 2 undercover network per turn when spying and 1 cover gain per turn when spying for all undercover characters. And +5 to the maximum cover, which is why we have, you know, a max cover of... Well, I mean, I guess we only have 25 of these things, you know, but yeah, 160 undercover per turn. Fun stuff. And we're able to catch them. I thought they were at sea, but they were just invisibly standing here.
全力奋战，则战无不胜。
Raj is so good, you forget to get overshadowed by the other ones, right? I'm like, but look how good they are.
讨平乱贼，澄清四海，点燃激情，痛击敌军。
And yeah, it takes forever to get over here. This is such a cool place to be at.
向前进军，正在行进，正气如火。 熊熊不息。
And then we just push to level 8 here, naturally. And pump the tribute halls. Going back up to 135k like a gentleman. Don't really need this building, do we? And here, I guess somebody is already persuading the gentry. We'll do a little counter-espionage. That's what the people like. But yeah, you know, we're making plenty of food. You gotta get to level 8 so you can get all your cool buildings. We don't need this building. Yeah, speaking of, we just need to go through Korea because we were keeping some of the not culture buildings for defense because of military supplies and stuff on the interior. Just need to make sure that that's all dealt with. And I do believe we have gotten rid of all of that stuff. Alright, jolly good. Ma Chao making his way to Shuofeng makes sense. Can this army beat him? I mean, maybe. Do we control this river? No. Well, I bet if we just walk over this way... Ah, Ma Zhu. We'll see how you like our sword style. I thought that was Ma Chao though, but it is Ma Tia all along.
一统天下。
Yes, general who attacks rebels gets charge reflect for own retinue, decent, regular stuff, and decent.
相信直觉。千层波浪，充实巨人。
Honorable hostage, huh? Movement range and ammo for own army, very cool. From Gong Sendu's faction, maybe he had to go live with some strangers for a while. One headhunter. Couple of fists owe the queen. Maraude, and then here we can get... We've got these marksman guys, which are totally respectable. He's already got a respectable retinue as well, so we just need more... a couple Furia behind. Oh, well, you know... One's enough. Someone here needs to recruit some spears, and it might as well be you, buddy.
该当如此。昂扬斗志，再一次感受到了家的温暖。
And this mounted supply patrol continues to be excellent to have a hold of, right? Because I bet that negative loot to the enemy commanderies is not even close to irrelevant. I bet it really is a headache. It takes a long time to walk in these areas. How do you like my Wu-Tang sword style? Indeed. Everyone smash heads, so you hand him a spear and say the go mash heads. Indeed, you know, it's a much different proposition when they're like, okay, yeah, now go do it. You're like, oh. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Like, yeah, no. Go off. I'm like, no, I will. I told you I was gonna. Administered the long commandery when he got taken off guns into. And then he goes off on him for considering attacking him while he's away like a smart guy would. Yep, you know, that's good. I like whenever you're like, don't you do the thing you should do. Yeah, indeed. You know, it's always... You're always kind of walking the tight rope, right? You know, when he's like, are they going to be impressed, or are they just going to be, like, normal about it? This guy, who is famously not that normal about things, is he going to be normal about this?
做好准备。做好准备。斗志可不能。
So just like, you know, you're right. You know, you probably should have done it, though. I mean, not because Cao Cao is, like, a bad guy. I would call him a guy. He was a man. Take him for all, not see his like again.
真是无知匹夫！准备急行军，
威武不屈，我军必胜。
We've already moved everywhere on this front. And the network will continue on. Another seasonal retinue deployment. Why don't we grab that? That's like, it's not like we haven't had a bandit network through here. We had a good chunk of this land before we backed away from it. And another seasonal deployment will be nice. Historically, he was probably dead by the time it took place in the records. Well, nothing like a good story to get in the way of a literal timeline. We're like, so where did the conversation take place, and on what date? No, not you, Zheng, not you. But we've always... Remember the first day you paid me tribute, Zheng, and how good that felt? And the second day you paid me tribute, and how your heart stirred with joy and happiness at knowing that you were contributing to the greater good? I can't put... Why don't you want to pay me anymore? Like, think about our long partnership of you pay... Hurt myself there with my dumb jokes. Well, he certainly picked a time when we still have armies in the gate pass. But go off, King. And Shi takes over the family down there. Joyous occasion. A daughter is born to Liu Zhang again. Again. Another beautiful daughter, the Liu Assassin. Good stuff. It is a composed, committed, and direct baby. If you charge the baby, it will reflect the power against it. I guess he is, after all, in this level 3 city. I mean... Do you want to form an empire? I can't believe you don't love me. I'm not going to dignify this with a battle, Zheng. I can't believe you. You are weak, loyal, and scholarly. You'll fit in great with us. Oh, it's got a huge population. Oh, that's what the infamy is from, that's right. Well, we don't need to do that. After all, this faction has been destroyed. Copper-scented fingers, rocking out. We will destroy the hated tax building. Like, what was this fool even doing here? Well, in honor of Zhang, we're gonna build a tribute hall here, like I know he always would have wanted. But this place will be a line of defense in the coming war, which will no doubt be upon us someday. So we will build it up. Can't believe you wanted to stop paying me. It's hurtful is what it is. You think you know a guy. Heyo. No, what's that say on it? No, that's pretty good. Fatigue immunity, own army. 6 morale, own army. 5 melee evasion, own army. Like, what? Welcome to the party, old man. And all these other guys that are unique, we're going to assume that they are now in the pool because of factions going away, and grab them. Wangsheng, you are... Oh, you previously ran that faction, so you just were trying to run and find a guy that liked you. Well, welcome. Welcome, old boy, to the party. You can keep your local administrator and all the other cool stuff. Wangong, the middling magistrate, will be able to help us out as well. Huangzu, are you a spy? No, because you were the faction leader. Of course you're not a spy. Ranged ambusher. Ooh, well, you know, we could get a chance of ambushing any army this force attacks. Yeah, not a spy. But yes, we get a lot of ancillaries per turn. But yes, own army. This elite trainer. And if you put it with the Book of Mountain and Seas, which we own, you get 10 loot for own army. Pretty good. But yeah, we gotta... That is crazy. Because if we put that on her, then we can drop the Red Sisters and give her the Blood Fist. No, I mean, we'll keep them on her. Like, who even deserves a thing like this? Should we just declare on him to make it really interesting? We could do that. You know, we definitely could.
悔不该放你来说。
Chi, what I saw in that is that you definitely want to pay me tribute. And you'll do it for 6 food. Must be starving. Yeah.
你的提案不错。
Yeah. How do you feel about getting 6 food?
"违令者斩！ 打起精神来！杀呀！开战！齐心协力，前进！我的耐心也是有限度的。今日此战，乃是
Wow,
大
that much
义
gives
之
us
胜。
revenue land. You know, those family estates still churning, right?
满怀信念， 奋力一战正在行进，追寻荣耀。
心境澄澈，天下庶几可定。遵命。
冻了一冬天，春季也该舒展一下筋骨了。
And here we'll just raider it up, you know, on a level 1. It's always a good choice. I do think that White Horse Raiders being available at level 1 is an oversight in the mod, and that if they were going to give you early access, then 2 would be fine. 1 is not right, okay? Like, at level 1, you get all the crummiest stuff. Even after you get network stuff, it's still, like, nothing good. And then White Horse Raiders, who are really quite very good. Ah, Yan Yan. So this is how to entirely just obliterate a faction. Got it. You get some guys in, you get about 140 network per turn. And the discredits roll, and then because everybody's unhappy, they're willing to spy. And then, you know, what happens the next turn? Like, everybody in charge of an army is going to be working for me, right? Or a lot of them, not every one of them. Plenty of them.
绝不留情，释放怒火。我的事
I
迹
knew a
四海传扬。
or from around that neighborhood anyway. Okay, got it, got it.
天与不取，必受其咎。 绝不动摇。
And I just like my my network there.
我的财宝呢？
Loot's fine here, and
稍事休息。
协力出击！今日此战，乃是大义之胜。 这是我们应得的。
hey, we get Chengdu, which is already low on to be. We demolish the hated tax building.
离我掌握天下又近了一步。
我已准备好作战了。
Oh my god, please let me demolish it. Good news. Now we can be the Kingdom of Korea, Daewon, Shuhan. After all, some of our faction is distantly related to the previous. No, we hate the Han here. We're not trying to harken back to its legitimacy. We've got legitimacy of our own. All sorts of forges. Gotta love it. And we'll be able to go over here and take the armor craftsman, which will no doubt give our faction a nice bonus. No doubt.
团结一致。
稍事休息。
保持原样。开战。
It's like, I bet none of them are close to here, actually. Yep.
冷静沉着。进岗。正在行进。前进。耐心等。
Move here, hit an ambush, maybe get away with it. Now all of them are upset. We're just gonna pull him out. He's a nice high-level guy. He's like level 6 or something? No, level 4. I thought he was level 6. We fought against him and like nearly died. And all he had was like a crummy little weapon and really good armor. Really good armor, I think it is. Yeah, I think he's got like 70 armor. That's what it was. But plenty of our spies are leading armies here, so we're going to be able to roll them up. And of course, these fools are not long for it. We can't negotiate with him because he is in an alliance war. Yeah. They have to go with the Empire War, so the only one who can end an Empire War is the Empress Wulie. But we don't want to negotiate peace, but should we declare on Cao Cao, well, the Merc contract is rolling. We'll wait till it wears out, right? It'll be like 2 turns.
力求上进。
And with 5 seasonal deployments now, it's much easier to get stuff put together a little bit. Go ahead and grab the big guy here.
忍受苦难。
团结一心。
And I'm pretty sure she's a spy too. It's like, I hired a bunch of people that I'm pretty sure are spies just because, like, maybe we can get them anyway, but I don't know if it's smart to do that. We've done it, though. But we know, like, all our people with Korean names and or troops are definitely not spies because they can't be, and, you know, all of them are gone. But she'll get her elite axe warriors. We got Imperial defenders and a heavy spear guard there. Pretty funny stuff. Well, we won't need to swap them around there, as they are pretty solid. Now, what do we get here? Chin Royal Guard. Oh, we do have the Taoist penitents now, and honestly, like, one of these in all the armies is probably real good, because this 15% melee evasion immediately pays for itself. We'll give him a headhunter. This guy can't get anything good, so we'll give him the raiders. Oh, it pushes it to the back anyway, yeah. Now that you made her turn 3 characters into level 10 ones, probably by the year 194, you have to make her a Grand Tutor. Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure. No, we should have done that. Save us on the... Can't believe we left that one at level 2 all this time. Silliness. But of course, our troops get cheaper and cheaper. Which is good, because, you know, at a mere 2,000, you know, we spent a whole lot of money on buildings this turn, right? Yeah, we spent 300,000 on buildings this turn. That's okay. I'm sure we won't run out of money. Foreshadowing. It's actually going to be legitimately funny how bad we're going to crunch Cao Cao whenever we start this war with him, right? Because look where he's at. We know where he is because of this Mert contract. And he is so far away. Pushing them back there. Chogo sent Pius to this. Oh, not today, Chogo. Not today. Can't believe Zhang Chao hasn't been snapped up by Cao Cao yet, but I guess they were paying me tribute, so Cao Cao, being such a nice guy, was like, well, I don't want to declare war on him. I mean, this might be inconsistent with all the other tributaries he's declared war on, but you know. And we make so many suits of armor, so many ancillaries. And these guys get some traits, good for them. And yeah, Gia the Imperial Guard, you know, plenty of nice stuff coming down out of the workshops. From being home to 100 favor near. Nice! Oh, yeah. It's so cool whenever somebody else gets the food. You know, takes a farmland or whatever, and the Emperor's like, hey, what a good job you did. You're like, what, me? Oh, yeah, of course, boss. Yeah. I did that. And then with a bunch of discredits here. Now a lot of people are very upset. He'll be at -2 before too long. Heyo! A level 6 pickup as a spy is, of course, just amazing. And they go in and already have a big network, so we can go in and discredit everyone again. And I guess it immediately... Yeah! And now the heir is a spy. That means we totally need to try to assassinate him, because I've never done that before, and that would be cool. Because his heir is the Empress Mu. Okay, yeah, so she, yeah, we wait for government to come. Exactly. Glorious! Yeah, you know, and because it'll be the first time I've ever done it, I bet there's an achievement for it, right? There's gotta be. This place should make 3.2. It makes -395. We are at 100% corruption. This is not a drill, 100% corrupt. They thought we couldn't do it, but they were wrong. They thought we shouldn't do it, and who knows if they were right. But we're at 100% corruption now. And he's actually, like, probably terrible at being an admin, right? No, he'll be great at it. We're gonna make... Because he's the yellow turban, right? So we'll make him the administrator of this place. Tying into the idea that our yellow turbans are, you know, underlying it all. The Minister of Finance and Zhang Kai there. There we go. Now we're only making -535 here for our 135% corruption. I'm like, oh yeah, our palace, that's right. Funny stuff. And our poor merc contract is going to be over ere too long. Alright, so the big guys here and Pengde, so we're gonna leave them alone, right? Or not, we could try to defend it. I mean, after all. That's what this army's here for, right? Oh, look at all that. You know, 'tis a silly place. That's a lot of armies, you know, and we're not in our land, right? So we don't even have replenishment there. Let's be discreet or valorous. Move in this way. We know Ma Chao's up there. Because I guess, formally speaking, we don't have to attack the Nonman, right? Dude, we got single turn. For some of these, we have got single turn research without boosts from ownership. We have arrived. Make sure we have the interference first, righto. And then we just yank those spies out of the army they were in and extract them to our faction. Glorious. War up here, messy. But war up there is always messy, and we don't have, like, you know, it's not like our best armies, although we've got Zhugong and stuff there, but here we are rolling up this way and this way. We'll be able to box her out before too long.
路径明晰，正在行进，一鼓作气，振作起来。
It'd be funny if Gunsundu is like the only guy that keeps on paying us because we're all like right here, and then, you know, I mean, Cao Cao clearly is having a time. Cao Pi, who is not the heir. Is it Cao Long again for his amazing abilities? Music got weird, don't love that. So I'm sure we could just check, you know, in a menu. Huh, this guy has no troops in this army? That is curious. Cao Cao, are you poor? I mean, everybody's poor compared to me. Strength rank 3... Yeah, we're so strong now that they're not even at a yellow arrow when they're compared. They're one green down arrow now. Zhang. Yeah. Oh, there. You got Cao Cao, Cao Song, Xiao Hao Yuan, and Cao Long in a single battle. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Because really, when we move the what? Oh my god. Oh jeez. This is a regular nightmare. 10 Qiang Marauders. Gee, yeah, whatever. Plus, you know, 10 more Red Cav there. We don't have enough of a front line to deal with that. We don't have... Like, that's not a deal with that with a single army kind of crew. Yeah, we don't have spear infantry. Yeah, the best we've got is what, you know, not the elite ones. We need to get to level 8 to get Protectors of Heaven, and then... Of course, Han, being Han, when they get to King, you know, they're probably going to max their assignment, so they're going to get 100% experience as well, and that's really the thing that bandits don't get, is access to really huge experience boosts through buildings or, you know, tech or the assignment things. And, you know, the girls are fighting there. His son is born, you know, sort of happy day. They're valuable members of the crew too, but... And we get here, and the non-men are going to send us elephants, right? And then we'll be like, okay, I guess since y'all are sending us elephants, we don't need to go in there, you know. The bandit network is strong. And then if they want to pick a fight, which they probably will, and, you know, then we'll beat them up then. Alright, so here we will run interference. And Wu Xian, leading an army, will assassinate the faction leader. I did it! And with that, we get an achievement. A bribe of alcohol and a concealed blade was all that was needed. The warlord died immediately, with the only sound being the snoring of the guards, who discovered the result of their neglect the following morning.
Wulie至极。
Feels good to spy, indeed. I don't know if that was the smart thing to do. Maybe we should have waited a turn. I bet that was dumb. Because it didn't transfer the ownership of the faction yet. Yeah, well, too bad. Say it wasn't? Well, that's good. Maybe it'll be alright. A lot of people in here now. One step closer to the edge where you get trebuchets, and the enemy will break.
准备作战。
Wulie至极。
No, because I extracted the faction leader spy, so that's like why it was wrong. You wanted to test force cultures. Yeah, I certainly should have not done it.
就当我便宜你们了。快去！扬帆前进。
Yeah, it feels bad.
这样行不通。
Did we just end our turn without moving anywhere? What are the zone, really? Just the feeling of doing it. Hey, we do get the achievement Live and Let Spy for having her become the faction leader, so I guess there's that.
若非两败俱伤，我方才不会议和。
He wants to sign peace with us. Well, that would make Cao Cao very upset. He's a king? How, bro? I'll trade with you.
"真是愚蠢的抉择。
Zheng Yan pieces out. We fail the contract. Very sad. Because you have to be the heir to do that, right? Or rather... Oh no, we could do it again. But if our heir isn't the... Because we only had the opportunity to do the thing because... Okay, got it, yeah.
为了天下大义。
And we will... Oh, you know, he's the, he is the faction leader already. He's already our spy.
那就快一点吧。
I forgot. That's why he couldn't assassinate the faction leader.
那就快一点吧。
Alright, so it doesn't... It might be because they're under the Empire, right? But we're not able to... Yeah, because he's under the Wu Empire, we can't do any Diplo with him. But we're gonna start a civil war in his faction. Hey, we get an achievement for that too. Point break. All right. I was like, why not? You know, that'd be funny.
已预示着一年将近。
So now he changed his whole faction. Hooray! And now I'm like, are they, now that they have a civil war, are they still... Yes, they still, even though they had the civil war, are under that. But Liu Chan now.
我们还有什么可说的？
So he was our spy, but he does hate us. Alright, well, fun. We learned something today. He still is our spy, he's just now in a new faction. How cool. And of course, they are not going to be long for this map.
保持原样，奋力一战。尸首尽弃于此，以儆效尤。绝不
A level
留
4
情
commander, always good. I love a commander.
柔克刚，
You know,
统一
some of my
行
best
进。
friends commanded armies.
奋力一战。
This guy's my spy
只
too,
得
right?
如此
Yeah.
“有必要吗？
Yeah, no, just him. Man, Song Jian really rocking out here. Do we want to... Let's see, you know, maybe Cao Mao doesn't have very much food and we can get this deal.
又是你这厮！
Pretty nice. Could just give him 81 food for a while. After all, I mean, it would be enough. Untrustworthy? Oh, from our spy actions? Can't believe that. You know, he's probably gonna die pretty soon, but then we just won't have to give him food anymore.
好，准了。
And if he wants to spend his final times being a faction, giving me tribute, who am I to refuse it? Literally who? Whomst? Whomst among us would refuse tribute when offered? Not I.
恪守职责。
And it patrols there. We will boost it here. And you know, it's they've got a bunch of stuff here, but at least on this front, we are running away from him.
根壮而后，枝叶繁茂。向前进军，以逸待劳，静候敌军。
Yeah, but we just move here, go to ambush, right? And if these fools coming across, because even if they all get here with a nice garrison on top of it, you know, maybe that'll work a treat. And it says it enables poison tower projectile local counties, so we'll see how that works out for us, right? That's up here, but maybe it'll apply to the rest of us. And here at Shuofeng, we know they're like kind of far away from where we are. Boom, 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 boom. And we get ourselves another animal tamer for, you guessed it, a charge bonus for melee and shot cavalry nationwide. Faction wide is on your side.
挽弓欲射，则屏息凝神。至柔如水，以应万变。
Just go here and go to ambush, because if he moves this way to try to move in on us there, that would be advantageous. Of course, this army is a nightmare, but if we fight it one-on-one, it's just a terrible nightmare that we're not good at dealing with, because Jiang Marauders are balanced one way, and when you double their armor, the principal way you have of dealing with them doesn't exist anymore, making you wonder what you're possibly going to do, you know, which is just have spears. Well, maybe these guys will be able to hold against them, right? Hidden ambush there. Yuan Shao is getting rid of them there. And with that, we have defeated Chogo. The final of the Korean tribes falls under our umbrella, our wise leadership.
If
you are too proud to join me, then you will die! Our dominion has completed the beautiful green map. And green's such a nice color, right? You know, we've got our holdings there. And we're going to have the province of Shu, which is very nice indeed, because, you know, especially if the Nanmen fear us too much to try to come out, and even if they don't, you know, when you don't care about pressing much forward into it, it's just all very advantageous. And at the end of this turn, we will have elephants. And then I'll have to figure out what we're going to do with them. Yeah, the contract is over. We just do it again. No, we're not going to, but that's very funny, right? The idea. Well, I guess, too, like, Cao Cao's like, look, as long as we keep on keeping him under contract, her under contract, the Bandit Queen is, you know, at least a known entity. A quantity that can be thought about. Yeah, you can't go into the blue water at all.
正在行进。威加海内，乱世随定。出发。
It definitely seems like going to sea is the way to make your way up the coastline, rather than the
我军必胜。
very messy land route. Do we want to, like, zoom around Gongsun-Du's lands here? I mean, yeah, we do.
前进，全军前进。
称霸珠海。
Because we
正在
have...
航行
Yeah, the sea here
身心俱
does not give you negative military supplies, so it is...
立马行
It's
动。
not like, oh, they're coming to sea around you, they're not going to be able to get through. They will get through, but
回归
here...
原状，定国安民。只有蠢货才不懂得休整，不行，下锚。
We're just going to roll around.
扬帆前进，下锚。
After, like, you can't put armies onto boats, it won't work, it's too dangerous. I'm like, what if we put all the armies onto boats? And we'll just swing around the side here and hit him while he's at war there.
"我绝不动摇。
挽弓欲射，则屏息凝神。
Yeah, and this can just be the folk from Shu trying to make their way in the world up here. Pan Yi, a murderer at level 5. I bet you're fine, and yeah, just upset somebody. Who'd you work for? Looters. Well, time to work for me now, buddy.
恪守职责。
Those and a headhunter, and then we'll get... Yeah, I guess Watchmen of the Empire, a totally fine choice.
高山矗立，岿然不动。
You know, they don't have the evasion, but they do have the shields, and a couple of them are fine, because we're gonna go full axes over here. She's got a couple of these marksmen, which are really quite good. Do get access to Yi archers, who are, of course, very respectable 250 range. You know, they're hardly Onyx Dragons, but very respectable. They've got evasion, but not armor, so they don't trade well, you know, but... And then we'll just round it out with a couple of Cav archers, which are always nice. We have 9 regular bows, and they're all... No, we've got 3 ones that aren't being used. I'm like... Yep, tons and tons of wonderful weapons. Got to love it.
养精蓄锐。
This guy gets the Robe of the Omen Maker clicked on, because, you know, get that old range firing rate. Own army, very nice. You get a bow, and you get a bow. Everybody gets a bow. Alright, everybody's got a bow.
为了天下苍生，我的目标十分明确。
拉弓之时需屏气凝神。
追寻荣耀，
心怀忠正，保持镇定，冷静沉着。 大人有何打算？枯木悲秋，潇潇如泪。
We can just get our White Horse Raiders here. And wait. Yeah, there she is, of course. A fancy Korean sentinel, so we'll be invisible. Very cool. And we'll keep her at this gate pass. Clint Eastwood, ever the gate pass watchman. Two Juggernauts and 2 Troops and 2 Furies, or 2 Juggernauts and 4 Troops. 4 of Spirit and 4 Dragons. I feel like Fury probably like 2 Furies, right? Because Furies, what you really want them for is to shoot red cav, and that's the real thing you want crossbows for, to shoot heavily armored red cav in the late game. Because the trebuchets and the juggernauts will match up better against, like, for counter archer fire or anything like that, and you know, maul the elite infantry on the approach and stuff, and then just like a little bit of furies to help mop up. That's what I would do. More artillery. I love artillery. 2.3 million again. 222k out of tributaries. Man, oh man, you know, it just goes to show how much these guys love paying me. It's like a Warhammer. I'm like, can I get 4 artillery pieces, you know, 1/5 of the army in there? And here I'm like, I bet I could get a third of the army as artillery. I mean, the general doesn't get it, so it's really more of like 30%. And then lifelink coverage just begins there. Exactly. Is the elite infantry going to reach you? And here, he runs right into us. It says we're going to take medium casualties. That's wild. But I actually... This is a good time to stop, right? Although looking over the map would be a better time to stop. Yeah. Because I want to eat something before bed. And if I don't do it soon, then I will wake up the dog, and that is not a suitable thing to do. But thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed. You know, we took over all of Korea, and we've got our lands in Shu, and you know, the lines are getting drawn. When we come back... 1062, just peace out. A plus 50 piece still with Cao Cao after taking his Wuchong. Well, I hope you squeezed him. I hope you squeezed him good. But, yeah, I'm gonna get some food. I might be back, you know, in 30 minutes for a nice 10-minute wheat video or something, but I haven't decided yet. It might be the last video of the day. It just depends, you know. My perpetual need for attention can only be dealt with by streaming on the internet, because I don't like people in real life paying attention to me. It makes me uncomfortable. Not that y'all aren't in real life. Never mind, forget I said anything. Max level gate pass and the forest, and nice! That forest, man, I love that forest. That's the good stuff. But anyway, when we get back, you know, to this, which could happen one of these days, you know, we're just going to declare war on Cao Cao, and the battle lines are going to get drawn. We're going to get some elephants in there. Jiang will probably reposition, right? And shift to the main front over there, but maybe not. We might just carve our way through Chu and meet them in the middle. We'll see. You know, obviously there's room for everyone to be a star in a campaign of this length, but you do kind of, especially when she's a lady like Jiang, our Bandit Queen, you kind of want her to be there in the thick of it, getting the bashing on, you know, and but it'll be time. It'll soon be time to reunite with the army of the Invisible Elephant. So maybe we'll reposition Jiang over in the north over there by Korea, and then she can ride down out of the mountains and out of the forests, and then Cao Cao will be like, I thought she was in Shu, and be like, I don't know, she teleported, man, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, good night, unless I see you slightly later, in which case, good evening. Later, Luke. Later, Ellie. Always a pleasure. So good to hang out with y'all. Later, Pump Maximum. I hope you enjoyed seeing what the bandits are capable of. And of course, the ceiling is not yet achieved, but we are pretty close to it with our crazy fast tech, with our eminent elephants. The army of the eminent elephant is upon them. That's what they'll say right before being trampled by our outrageous fortune. Anyway, see you guys.